Hello everyone, Ace here, and today let's talk about the news regarding 6 Days in Fallujah. A game that I've been looking forward to, though one that has been quite controversial, and was even originally cancelled all the way back in 2009, although it was of course since revived. The news is that this game is coming to early access, and by the way, looks quite promising. Now, it is worth noting that at first the early access release is going to be co-op focused, although you can play the game by yourself if you should so desire, though your AI teammates are not in quite yet. So consider this to be extra hard mode if you choose to play it that way. Even with that current limitation, however, the game is already getting praise from veterans who have played the game, such as, for example, TheDevilDogGamer, who can't seem to praise the game or its developers enough. And for those curious, I will of course be leaving a link in the description below to his video so you can check it out for yourself. Unfortunately, though, that is not the only bit of news today with regards to 6 Days in Fallujah, because, as I've said before, the game is controversial, with the inevitable air of far-left activists trying to cancel this game because of course they're trying to cancel it again. And with that in mind, let's now move on to one of the reoccurring characters of my videos, specifically game journalist John Phipps, an individual who has in the past provided some of the most atrocious and disgusting takes that I have ever seen. This is a guy who tried to virtue signal by complaining that no one walks up to rape victims and says to them, "Thank you for being a rape victim." No, really, that's an actual argument he tried to make. It's something that he apparently wants people to do. He's also the kind of guy who will deliberately use his dead buddies as a soapbox to virtue signal about random topics that he, by his own admission, does not actually care about, which cheapens the memory of his fallen comrades and shows by extension how little he cared about them. Now, I've already done videos on both of these things that he has said in the past, and thus I'll simply leave links to them as well, but I do believe it is important to hammer home the sort of person that John Phipps is whenever talking about him. Which brings us to the latest bit of news from John Phipps, and how he has decided to just openly lie about 6 Days in Fallujah in order to try to smear the game and the developers. In this case, by arguing that the game is going to be releasing paid DLC while still in early access, and that the paid DLC will be story missions as well as the ability to play as civilians. What's interesting is that the source that he tries to use to back up this claim only in fact debunks it, because if you actually took the time to read what is said, what the developers are stating is that their intention is to work on certain portions of the game first, and then release the other content as free updates later on. You know, like every early access game. This is further confirmed by the roadmap listed on the game's Steam page as well. But to really emphasize just how bad faith John Phipps's claim is that this is going to be paid DLC, consider this. In order to believe what John Phipps is saying, you'd have to believe that US Marines are also going to be paid DLC as well, because friendly AI is not going to be in the game at launch either, and is listed as being added in as an update later on, just like the civilians, and also like the campaign mode. So to agree with John Phipps's position, you'd have to believe that US Marines, civilians, and the single-player campaign are all paid DLC, rather than take the more rational position that this is just going to be added in as free updates in an early access game that simply is not finished yet. John Phipps has to know that he is lying through his teeth here. There is absolutely zero explanation that could be made in good faith to defend what John Phipps has said. And ultimately, I believe that I have said everything that needs to be in response. Now, for those curious though, I will of course be leaving links in the description below, so you can check them out for yourself if you should so desire. But in any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.